Hey folks, it's Andy. Hope you're having a great day. I'm bringing you this Kendo rant from the beautiful city of Fukuoka, Japan. I'm in a nice little sort of shrine, as you can see, very pretty. I've done my usual setup. I'm just filming this on my phone, just with the in-phone microphone as well, so don't get too mad about the audio quality. I'm doing my best. Okay, there's traffic driving by, there's people ringing bells over there, so yeah, I'm doing my best to bring you an episode despite adversity. Okay, so let's get into the questions. Now, I haven't been able to print out the questions or anything like that. I've just noted them down really roughly on a piece of paper like this, so I might not be able to quote them word for word, but you'll get the gist of the actual questions themselves. So okay, so the first one is, this one came to me on Facebook actually, and it says, what are my thoughts on the 10, 15 or 20 second rule when it comes to grading, in that some people say that you should sort of wait 10 to 15 or even 20 seconds before making your first attack, so that you definitely have enough sort of semi-ai before the strike. Now, it's a really interesting point that I really like that's been brought up. Essentially, here's how I think about it though. I don't think you should think of it as like a 10 second or 15 second or 20 second wait before attacking. I think you'd be better off sort of just applying semi, just trying to do the semi before making an attack. Definitely you don't want to be stood there sort of counting to 10 in your head before making an attack. So I know some teachers have sort of said that sort of thing in the past, because at the same time you don't want to just rush in as soon as they say Hajime, stand up, yeah man, sort of just fly in there, sort of guns blazing. But I sort of had a look over my last grading video, and there was about 10 seconds before I made my first attack, but that wasn't a conscious thing. I just kind of stood up, I sort of made sure I had a good idea of what was going on. I sort of made my distance, I started to apply semi, and when I thought it was a good time, good opportunity for me to strike, that's when I launched my first attack, and it just so happens it was about 10 seconds. But I tend to stay away from this idea of having a 10-second rule, because I think it encourages you just sort of sitting there and counting it out, and I don't think that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be stood there applying semi, looking for the right chance, and then when it's there, bam! Yeah, so that's my sort of thought on it really. Next one. This question kind of made me laugh. It says, how difficult was it to start KendoStar, and did I face any challenges? It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. You know, starting a business from essentially nothing. Obviously, I had sort of almost 10 years of experience in the field, so KendoStar was the kind of culmination of my experience in the industry. I didn't just wake up one day and think, oh, I'll start a burger shop. It was a long time coming. It took a lot of preparation, and it still is hard. It's still very hard even to this day. And yeah, there was a lot of challenges, especially you know, the kendo industry, especially in Japan. It's not a really super friendly industry. A lot of the companies don't get on with each other, so it wasn't like I could just easily just find suppliers and stuff like that. But luckily I'd already built up a network myself, working as a professional in the industry. But the thing is, I think the most important thing is, I don't consider myself just as a vendor, and I've been like that from the start really. But I'm not just a person that you just click on the website and just sells you burger. I've been very conscious really to, right from the start, make sure that I'm an expert in what I do, and that I'm a real professional, and that we're deserving of the prices that we ask. It's a bit windy, I hope that's not picking up on the mic. So yeah, I think that's sort of what I'd say on that. I mean, yeah, it was super hard, and it still is hard to this day. Running a business is hard, especially a successful one, and one that's grown as fast as KendoStar did, and continues to. Thank you to everybody that supports us. So yeah, and go and shop there, by the way. KendoStar.com. Right, next one. Okay, so this is a question about Aizome, or the indigo dye that's used in kendogi. The original question was saying about how the person had bought an indigo dyed kendogi and hakamai in Japan, and that even after several, we've got planes flying over as well, nice. Even after lots of uses, it was still dyeing them blue. And yeah, I mean, that kind of happens, and the question really was like, is there no sort of alternative, and why do we have to use Aizome? Oh, this is great. We've got an election going as well. I'm sure they're going to drive past and blare their political stuff down the microphone while I'm trying to speak. Anyway, yeah, you're asking about whether there's an alternative to Aizome, and there isn't really. Well, I mean, of course there is, but if you want like a really high grade uniform, then yeah, it's always going to be Aizome. There isn't like a synthetic dye that works nearly as well. It doesn't produce the same sort of beautiful colour. However, if you don't want an Aizome uniform, then I'd seriously look at something like our Gaia uniform. That's like synthetic, and it's obviously synthetically dyed. The colour doesn't run, it doesn't brush off on you. You can put it in the washing machine. It's really easy to look after, and it's a lot more convenient than an Aizome uniform. So if that's the sort of problem, it looks great as well. It looks like the real deal when you're wearing it, certainly from a distance. So yeah, check that out, certainly. But in terms of why they use Aizome, Aizome has been used in Japan traditionally for sort of centuries, and it's considered sort of an important part of Kendo's culture. The sort of staining of the body blue and everything that touches blue it's kind of also considered a bit of a rite of passage in a way, in terms of when you get a new uniform or borg set and it sort of stains you. So yeah, there are some sort of, I mean, you know, there's some synthetically dyed stuff, but it just doesn't turn the same sort of colour, and that's one of the things that's generally considered really desirable, is the colour that it turns as it fades. So yeah, I hope that sort of answers it. Okay, these next few questions are from the Kendo Show Early Access group. There's a link in the description. If you're not in the group, get in the group. Okay, this is a great one. This is a sort of advanced Shinai Maintenance question, and it asks about the on the bamboo on the inside of the take. There's like a kind of thing that sort of flakes off. It seems like a coating, and it literally on the inner side of each of the staves, and it kind of it sometimes flakes off. What is it, and does it need to be replaced? I'll be honest with you, I'm going to need to really talk to a Shinai manufacturer about this, and I'll do my best to look into it in more detail. But what I believe is it's just part of the sort of fibres of the bamboo. I don't think that it's something that's particularly been applied to it, and it certainly isn't something you need to worry about replacing. I wouldn't worry about it at all, to be honest. It isn't, like I say, you don't need to worry about recoating it with anything. I'm pretty sure it's just the sort of fibres of the bamboo that actually just peel away on the inside. Okay, next one. In tournaments, how are competitors match? Again, I'm paraphrasing these questions. We've got more aeroplanes right near the airport, typically. I'm paraphrasing these questions. I'm not giving the direct quotes, so forgive me for that, as well as the video and audio quality and everything else. But how are competitors matched in a tournament? Are they matched by age? Are they matched by rank, or what? That was a question that was put on there, and I know there was a few responses in the group about it. Basically, it depends on the tournament, and that was the overall response in the group as well. Generally, people are in the West, at least, people tend to be separated by rank. So often you'll have like a Q grade section, and maybe a Dan grade section. Maybe you'll have like a first Dan to third Dan or fourth Dan, and then a fourth Dan or fifth Dan and above division. You don't tend to, that tends to be the most common way of dividing competitors. Sometimes there's divisions by age. That happens more often in Japan, actually. Obviously by gender as well, sometimes it's separated. So it really depends on the tournament, how it's organised. Okay, last one. This one says about strikes on the thumb or stubs on the thumb. It says everybody must have experienced either in Jigeko or in Shiai being sort of hit on the end of the thumb. But it's happened to this person kind of quite a lot recently. Is it bad luck or is it something they're doing? Yeah, it does happen to everybody. I've had it a few times myself. I tend to find that I've gone through periods of it happening, so it's happened sort of several times, again much like your experience within the space of a week or two. And I usually find what we're talking about is when you get hit straight on the end of your thumb, so you're holding the shinai, and I tend to find it's some way that I'm trying to block or defend in some way that's inviting strikes to my thumb when somebody's going for kote or something, or the way I'm trying to maybe I'm trying to block this way and I end up getting hit on the thumb. So yeah, it could be the way you're blocking, it could just be bad luck. It's hard to say obviously without seeing your kendo, but you'll probably find that yeah, it could be a combination of both as well, that it is the way that you're holding or blocking with the shinai and also bad luck. You'll probably find, to be honest, within a month or two it'll stop happening as regularly, and then it might come back and start happening regularly again. It's kind of part and parcel of it, I'm afraid, but I'm sure it'll get better. Okay, so that's it for today. Sorry about the really impromptu episode. I tried to bring you a nice background, but it's really super noisy. I forgot to bring a microphone. I didn't bring a camera. I'm filming just on my phone. It's kind of a really surprise trip over here for me as well. I didn't really plan it that well. It was a bit of an emergency trip, but I did want to get a video out, so again, forgive me for the video quality and the audio quality and all that, and for not properly quoting all the questions. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that sort of thing. Join the Kendo Show Early Access group, and most importantly, don't forget to do your shopping at KendoStar.com. That's the website that I run, in case you didn't notice from the earlier question. It's really, really awesome kendo equipment designed specifically for the international kendo community. I'm sure you'll love it. If you haven't tried us already, give us a try. That's KendoStar.com. Thank you very much for watching and for your patience today in this sort of episode, and I'll see you all next time.